Before you begin to color, make sure that you are remembering what color family you chose. For my example here, I have chosen to do my tools in cool colors. So that is blues, greens, and purples. When we are drawing skinny lines or small details, remember to hold your marker vertical so you can use light pressure and get lines as skinny as you need. You can use the same techniques that we learned from our very first project, all the different ink techniques, stippling, hatching, and cross-hatching, to add dimension to your tools. Don't just color them all solid. I want to see some texture and some thought put behind your artwork for what you are going to do. Each tool needs to have at least one version of each color in your color family. Let me clarify that. So for my example, I'm going to make sure I have at least one green, at least one purple, and at least one blue. Use one of each. You can use different shades. Like here in a little bit, you'll see that I've used different shades of purple, different shades of blue, and even different shades of green. Put a little variety into your picture. Remember that even within those color families, there are some colors that are darker than others. So for instance, purple is usually a lot darker than my green. So I outlined all of my objects with my dark purple first. Then I go back and I can use whatever other colors I want, depending on where the highlights and shadows are of my object. Remember that you locate your shadows from your photograph or from the object in front of you. You don't just make it up. You always look at something that tells you where those shadows go. You can use a combination of your ink techniques as well as coloring it in solid. So for this handle of this saw, if you noticed at the beginning, I went through with a darker blue and did all my lines. Now I'm using a lighter blue and I'm going through and I'm carefully coloring with that lighter blue. This only works when it's a dark color first and then a light color over the top. Make sure you remember that. Dark first, then light. When you are coloring giant solid areas like that, make sure you turn your marker sideways. So that way you are using the big flat part of your marker and not ruining that skinny tip of your marker for later use. Vertical for skinny, horizontal for flat large areas. Continue to work on all of your objects, making sure that you're putting a lot of variety in different shades and making your object look as real as possible. Remember, you're only working on your objects right now. Choose a color family and get started.